on what today's webinar is about and kind of the thinking behind Todd Ewing and his awesome, he has a keynote pitch that I've heard several times. He has a three-part series that we all put together, and the bottom line is everything was designed around you to help you change your business moving forward into the future. Joseph Loughran is on with us. He's our Marketing Vice President. And then, of course, our special guest speaker, Todd Ewing. And, you know, just so everybody kind of has their arms around this, we wanted to bring in someone a little different. You know, there's tons of speakers that each life insurance company has that is on staff, and you know they come on, and some of them are great speakers, but you know ultimately and usually at the end they'll say, you know, and this company and this product is the best, or you know, sign up to our one-on-one training series for $100 an hour on the form below, or you know, there's always a little catch or a little spin at the end. And Todd Ewing, we brought him in to help our agents, not to push a company or a product or sign up with Todd. Nothing to do with that. Okay, we wanted him to help train and teach our agents the rope. And I will say just a few more things before we move forward. You know, there's a lot of people out there that know the business inside and out, some 22-year-old guys, some 77-year-old ladies. They're all across the board, okay? And they all bring a little something unique to the table, which is great. But Todd is a little different in that he gets it. Okay, so no matter what the age group, no matter what your selling experience is, no matter if you focus on, you know, third bedroom term sales, or if you're a estate planning attorney, CPA, and you average $2 million survivorship UL cases, no matter what the situation is, he gets it. He understands it. So I love his spin, and he's going to teach you and train you guys and girls how to get the job done over the phone. And I don't mean just a small $10 a month term case, okay? Yes, that could be one of them, but he's also going to show you how, let's say, a permanent universal life or indexed UL at $10,000 a year can be sold over the phone without ever meeting the client one-on-one. So real great stuff here, and I promise you that everybody will walk away with something. My suggestion is take out a pen and paper, jot down any notes, questions that you have, and then after the call, we're all here to help you. So please don't hesitate to call or shoot us an email, or just let us know your comments on either our Facebook page or by email or phone call, because you know we're spending a lot of money to help get all of our agents trained and to make sure that you guys have the best technology, tools, and training that's available today. So we want to know, good and bad, what's going on and what you thought about today's webinar. So just real quick, he's responsible for over $1 billion in premium and led Transamerica single-handedly to build a DTC channel of $30 million in 2 years. That's D2C, direct to consumer. So he gets it. He knows this side of the business, and I know everybody's going to love this. So let's move forward, Joe. Okay, a few of our tools and technology here. I'm going to go over this briefly because I know we started a little bit late. The iGenius platform is all of our tools, technology, everything that's available to all of our active agents. And the way we're looking at this, kind of a three-step process. If you have all of our technology, all of our CRM tools and lead generation platforms, okay, that means you're going to be able to generate new prospects so you can share your story. And then with Todd's training, once you have that person on the phone line or even face-to-face, then you'll be able to make the sale, okay? So with the training, the technology, let's say your lead generator website, everything up and running, this should change your business. And I know by the time you're done with today's webinar, if you listen to everything that we're saying and offering, then you will be sold and you will change your business. It's that simple. Okay, so the only thing you need to do is pay attention, sit back, let it all soak in. Okay, 2 new tools that I'm going to talk about briefly is our Agency Automator and Agency Automator Plus system. Now, everything Todd is going to go over is great, and it's going to help you make the sale, but these are the tools, okay, that are going to help you generate 1,000 new prospects every month, and this is no charge to you. Okay, so the Agency Automator is on the left side, and then on the right side of the screen is the Agency Automator Plus. Just going to tell you this in a 2-second overview. The Agency Automator is your CRM tool. That's going to help you manage your day-to-day business, all of your existing clients and prospects, all in one place. It allows you to drip on them with different e-blasts and cards and mailers. Okay, everything that you need to do to conduct your day-to-day business is in Agency Automator. Then the prospecting part of it at the bottom there, that's going to allow you to go in every month, dial in a zip code. You can say, I want all prospects that fall into, let's say, ages 35 to 42 in this zip code that are making this much income, and the system will give you 1,000 names, emails, addresses, phone numbers for every prospect that falls into that criteria, so then you can market to them. Okay, so now you have people that are going to listen to your story. So then with Todd's spin and his techniques, you'll be able to make those sales. So this is a complete A to Z selling platform. We're giving you everything that you need at your fingertips. All you have to do is put that effort in and put all the pieces together. And we're here to help you do that. So there's no reason to not grow your business in 2017. On the right side there, it's basically the same thing as Agency Automator, but as you can see, we added a little plus to the right side, and that means same mindset, but the way this system works, that database that you're going to go into every month to pull your new prospects with the Automator system, you're going to go in every month and you're going to dial in for new agents. So you are going to create your own hierarchy. You'll become a GA, so to speak. So then you can go into our library. We have hundreds of different blasts and pre-made documents. So you can send out all of the different pieces that we're sending out to recruit agents. You can do the same thing with Agency Automator Plus. So real neat stuff there. There's no reason to not go out there, okay, and make sales, conduct your day-to-day business, but why not have a few agents in the background also making sales, and you're sitting back making a 5, 10, 15% override, and let's say a Sunday, you know, the football game is on, and you're sitting back making 10% of everything that Billy and Jenny are writing on a Sunday afternoon. So there's no reason to not use our technology and tools and not only grow your sales retail business, but grow your hierarchy at the same time. And with all of our tools, there's no reason to not do this. Okay, real quick, lead program. So as you know, Todd's going to give you all the techniques, sales tricks, and basically teach you how to sell over the phone. Lead programs are going to help you generate prospects that are ready to buy. You just need to pick up the phone and make the sale. So the exclusive mortgage lead protection program, we have the Pay Yourself to Wealth program, $4 a lead. We have the final expense co-op mailer program, and then, of course, the same co-op mailer program for annuities. And then also, and this is for our exclusive VIP agents that are writing a minimum of $5,000, we have an orphan lead policy program, and these are basically a slam dunk. So as soon as you're at that level, let us know. We send these for free, no charge. Okay, moving forward, I'm not going to steal any of Todd's thunder because he's got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time, but I don't think I have to say anything else about Todd Ewing. The proof is in the pudding. He has proven himself year after year, and I don't get impressed very easily. I've heard the top speakers across the country, but Todd is definitely by far one of my favorites. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Todd R. Ewing. Todd, you there?
Yes, I am. And Joe, thank you very much. And Bill, thank you for teeing that up and for the kind words. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be with you all, and I want to acknowledge Levinson and Association. What a group. I mean, really, I've had the good fortune of walking the halls of hundreds of BGAs and IMOs across the country, and I have to say that Levinson Associates gets the platform, gets the tools, gets the agent experience better than anybody. So I'm delighted to be with you. Bill, you actually used the words for me a little different. I don't know how I feel about that. I take it as a compliment in the world of boring and copycat and kind of bland out there. I will try to keep it fresh. I'm going to go very quickly today. There's a ton of information. It's not a lot of pretty pictures. It's content rich. It's heavy on information, and it is gleaning the best practices and curating the proven solutions that I am going to share with you. So can you all see my screen? Bill or Joe, can you just give me a thumbs up on that one?
Yep, you are good to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. All right, so I am pleased to be with you. I'm going to be sharing today proven insights from my walks of the world in the D2C experience. My background, again, is with direct-to-consumer, D2C, direct marketing. I built SelectQuote. I built a company called InsWeb. I've consulted for the top 20-plus companies. As Bill said, I helped manage and build the Transamerica brand. I really have produced 500,000-plus policies for these companies. I want to share that information with you all today. One of the things I'm most proud of, the accomplishments, is being able to help agencies and individual agents, just like you all, master their insurance craft and transform their lives. And when I say master, I mean mastery comes from discipline. It comes from commitment and expertise. And there are no shortcuts. It's a matter of putting in the work, the effort, but honing the craft and the skill. And that comes from the minute details. If you look at the best athletes in the world, it's because of the repetition, the practice over and over, so it becomes muscle memory. And we're going to talk a lot about that because the techniques and the tools that I share with you all come down to repetition and mastery. So over my career, I've had, thousands and thousands of agents that I've interacted with, and they come in all shapes and sizes. One of the things that I love about it, and I do equate them to athletes, because I think that they have skill. They're on the field because they already have skills, and there are really 4 different groups. And I want to talk about these groups and see maybe where you fit into that. And if you're in one category, maybe there's an opportunity to move into another. Here are the 4 categories of athletes in finance. And the first one is the natural, God-given ability. They are the potential superstars. I have a feeling those are a lot of you on the phone. You're already great at what you do. Bill and Joe share with me how awesome their team is, how great you all are, that you're just tremendous producers. So my job is to help you refine that. I'm your swing coach. I'm the one who's going to help you hit it 20 yards further, going to help you reduce 2 or 3 strokes off your game. Okay? The second group is the innate talent, but they're unrefined. We all know that in sports. They don't have the good footwork. They don't have some of the necessary refined skills, but they have innate ability. They just need to be coached up. And those are the majority of athletes, and those are the majority of salespeople. Okay, so the huge upside there, right, by honing and focusing in on your craft. The third group, which is actually one of my favorites because they are the group that has the strong desire. They have average skill, but just immense passion, or the you gotta wanna. They wanna make improvements. They make movies out of this, right? Rudy of the world. They talk about how to transform their lives, and that we can do here dramatically. So we're going to give you the footprint for that. And then the last one is the talent, but the tude. And I think you all have been around that, right? It's that guy with his arms crossed. He's defensive. He's superior, condescending. He's smug, right? So with the exception of the last group, which I don't want to work with at all, I have no desire at this point in my career to work with anybody who has too much of a tude, right? Oh, and there is one other group, and it just reminded me of sports because of the Super Bowl, is you know that person, right, that they say that they can make all the game championship winning putts. they can make the contested shot to swish it and to win the championship in basketball. They can make the touchdown or two-point conversion to win the Super Bowl. They can, and it goes on and on and on, right? If only they had the ball in their hands more often. If only they had the ball at the 2-minute timeout. If only they were up at bat. In our world, if only they had more leads. So I'm going to posit that we don't have a lead problem, and with what Bill and Joe provide and the tools that you get here with Levinson, it's unbelievable. You have those tools. I'm going to posit that we have a conversion challenge, or we have a conversion opportunity, meaning taking the leads that we have and transforming them into sales and more sales. Okay? So for all of you out there who think, I already know how to do this. Yes, you do, or else you wouldn't be here. You'd be homeless, right? So this is an opportunity to learn more, to engage, to enhance, to complement, right? So ideally, we all learn every day, and that's what prompted me to start my own direct-to-consumer consulting business. I had the opportunity to walk the halls of what used to be my competitors, right? And I was able to glean insights and techniques from those hundreds of agencies. And honestly, I thought I knew everything. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'd sold over 8,000 policies over the phone. I led the biggest direct marketing company in the country. You hear them on the radio every single day, on TV, SelectQuote. Those are my commercials that I wrote. Why would I need to learn anything more? And yet, when I rolled up my sleeves and sat on the floor and I listened to some of these other guys that were selling, it was like, wow. It was eye-opening and awe-inspiring. So that's what I would love to do, is I now transcend and I share those best practices and proven technologies and techniques with you to help you. And it's really on 4 areas: to hone your existing skills, to shape your muscle memory for success. 3 is to cultivate and calibrate reflexive recall, so that when it happens, when one moment happens, you will be able to produce consistency at an incredibly high level. And then 4 is instill the subtle methodologies of all the incredibly successful agents who have done this and have helped to transform their business and in turn transform your business. So here we go. It's a hybrid model. I'm not expecting any of you to go out there and say, hey, I want to go do this exclusively. No, you're already working with the best in the business, so augment what you're doing. You know that direct-to-consumer, D2C, is all the rage these days. That's great. Let's join the party. Let's beat the teams out there. There's no reason you can't do it better because you already have the skill. The companies that you're hearing about right now in the news, the Ladder Lifes, the Haven Lifes, the Policy Geniuses, the Health IQs, those are all great companies. For the most part, though, they're not built and being designed by insurance people. They're mostly technology and marketing people, and so that's great, and yet you have an advantage because you know the product, you know the process. So you take these other tools that I'm going to share with you at a high level today, and you manifest that, and there's no reason you can't build your own D2C empire, okay? It's just important to note that this is meant to complement what you currently do. Let's face it, you're not going to drive all over town for a $238 premium. I hope you don't deal with that at all. But for an $860, for a $1,300 case, heck, there are people that are buying policies online for $30,000, $40,000 every single day. I know because I see the numbers. I know because my agents used to do it. So it is product agnostic, everybody, but I want to say this again, repeat, keep working on your existing model and use the insights and the tools that we're going to give you to complement your business. Okay, so what you're going to see now, not pretty pictures, I'm not into all that, it's content rich, it's all high-level information. We're going to have 35 minutes here. I'm going to go incredibly quickly. This is not a back and forth. It's me coming down to give you information. There will be opportunities at the end for how we can engage and talk further, and it's all going to be done through Bill and Joe. So again, we're jumping in, roll up your sleeves. Let's talk about best practices. I'm sharing with you the 7 habits. This is my proprietary program. Today I'm going to drill down on habit 1 of direct sales. Yes, anybody can talk over the phone. The delta, everybody, you need to hear this, the delta between the thousands and thousands of agents who sell over the phone is tremendous. The same number of leads. I'll give you a perfect example. One day, a long time ago, I took a whole bunch of calls. The lady sitting next to me took a whole bunch of calls. It was an equal call distribution. She turned to me at the end of the afternoon and she said, how'd your day go, Todd? Seemed kind of slow. And I said, it was pretty good, Renee. And she said, how many did you write? And I said, how many did you write? And she said, 3. And she said to me, how many did you write? And I said, 32. So I think that's still a record. My point is, it's not the leads, it's the conversion. At every shop across the country, one guy's making 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, and the next person's making 30 or 40,000. They all have the same calls, they all have the same technology, they all have the same systems. What they don't have is the presentation, is the 7 habits. So here we go. All right, here are the companies that I have helped specifically. You've heard of most of these. The second line, Health IQ, PolicyGenius, Sure.com, those are kind of the newer startups. All these other companies out there, those are all clients of mine. So I have been able to glean those proven best practices. I'm going to share it with you for youragency.com. I don't care who you are, you can create your own platform with the tools that LNA have given you here. All right, 500,000 policies, true, millions of leads. I've listened to hundreds of thousands of calls. I'm a junkie for listening to calls, so dissecting it over and over and over and over. Shoot it again, run it again, play it again, over and over, dissecting it down to the millisecond. Why? Because sometimes that 1 inch changes the game, and that's what I believe in. So those techniques have produced over $1 billion in premium, and I've helped thousands of agents. For you, what I want to do is help you create, it's not going to be done all in one day, Rome wasn't built that way, a turnkey, product agnostic, sell UL, sell health, sell long-term care, sell supplement, everything that you can get through Levinson, you can sell over the phone, complementing what you do. It's results-based, it's reflexive recall, it's replicable. I'm going to help teach you mastery to triple your sales. Triple your sales. I've done that over and over for the agencies that I work with. Double your production and create a systematic revenue source. Here's how it should be. I mean, when you're selling, let's say you have to sell a term case for $250,000 for a 40-year-old. Why not transact it here with your feet up, in the comfort of your own home, on your cell phone, at the beach when you're on vacation, because your system and your 12-minute presentation are down to mastery, right? So your toolkit, 3 things that really come into play. You have to have a marketing program. You have that here. Lead program and a robust touch points campaign. Call it a CRM, call it a constant drip campaign. That has to be built. You have that. 2, system, CRM, AMS, site, a quoter, a mobile platform. You have that as well. If you don't, just get with Joe and get all those tools. So Levinson & Associates has you covered for all these tools. Plus, we are going to start today the 7 habits that are going to allow you to manifest these results over the phone. So the direct differences, again, between face-to-face and telephone, oh, it's not that different. It's a world of difference. It's a world of difference, or else everybody would have been doing it by now. So don't fight on this one. It's a TIG society. It's a total immediate gratification. You have 10 seconds to focus their attention. When I work with agents, they tell me their script as if they're talking to somebody face-to-face or at their kitchen counter. That doesn't work. I repeat, you have 10 seconds to get their attention over the phone. So we're going to start on that today, but your elevator pitch just got 1 floor from 20 floors to 1 floor. You have to leverage your marketing source. That is a tip that you need to use every single time. However you got your lead, you need to catapult it, and you need to engage in that source. This is a changing phenomena. Rapport, you hear that all the time, right? It is not about being nice. I repeat, not about being nice. That doesn't win the day. They can walk away from you being nice. They can even hang up on you. It's about authority, control, and expertise. It's ACE, not nice. I'm one of the few people in the whole country that preaches that you don't need to smile, you don't need to be super friendly, you don't need to be jokey on the phone. I need you to be the expert as if you're the attorney, that you're the doctor. The only picture you're going to see now is a picture of a doctor, because that's how I want you to envision yourself in your office. They're coming to see you because they have an illness and you have the medication that they need. You are not going to be talking to them about the weather. It's a unique audience. It has to be with them. What's in it for me? You have to address that from the mindset. The millennials have taken over and changed our concept of how we expect things to be done. And it's like, what's in it for me? Okay, I'm out of here. So we need to appeal to that, and that's true of everybody. The internet has changed our mindset and our expectations. You have to appeal quickly, and it has to be all about them. Everybody's a freaking expert anymore, right? They're one Google click away from reading everything about your business. The great thing is nobody really wants to do that with life insurance. So I tell everybody, the world has changed. You can't hide from the competition. You need to address the competition. If you get them on the phone, there's no reason you should not be selling them. I want you hitting 130%, meaning if you get them on the phone, 130%, you get them plus a third more of the time you pick up an extra policy or you pick up an extra person, because everybody's an expert. So you have to address the select quotes, the AccuQuotes, the matrix. You have to address that, and they have you. That's why you're better. It is an omni-channel world. Let's face it. They're cell, text, phone, mobile, shit. Probably everybody's going to be Instagram at some point, right? You have to develop your systematic expertise and show that off very quickly. It is shorter sentences and more directive. It is no longer paragraphs. It's no jargon. It's no heavy language. It's right to the point. It's specific, and then it's engagement. You hear that nonstop, right? Client engagement, customer experience, client journey, blah, blah, blah. But it really does come down to engagement. And the way you get engagement is you do verbal check-ins. I wish I was doing this with you face-to-face, because I talked to you about how to do that. But verbal check-ins, every 3 facts, you give 1 verbal check-in. So you convey 3 facts, and then you check in with them, say, does that make sense? Are you following me? Are you with me? And you get them to repeat back and to acknowledge that they're on board with you. You're buying yeses. Source strategy, we talked about your lead sources. There are 5 different types that you're going to get. You're going to get an affinity, which is the hottest there it possibly is. 2 companies that I've worked with recently, they have an affinity market. They're selling almost every lead that they get because we made one change to their scripting. Note, I don't believe in scripting. I believe in concepts and 7 habits. I don't believe in scripting, but we changed their habit 1, which was how they present the relationship. And all they did is start talking about the affinity. Oh, tell me about your cycling. Oh, tell me about your service in the military. Oh, and it opened up that conversation, and it created rapport. Everything flowed off of that. Secret handshakes are something that only you know because you're in the club or the affinity. That was the game changer there. Affinity, if you have an affinity partnership, hone that. Become the master of that, and all you want to do is open it up for them and say, tell me about that. How long have you been doing that? Oh, that's interesting. It'll change your world. Referrals. Use case studies. What we found, our other clients just like you, use your case studies for referrals to make them feel familiar and comfortable. For warm web means that they submitted information online. It's a data lead. You might have those, right? They came to your website, or you got a lead. It was through the web. It has to be solution-based. It's sol-centric, solution-centric, and you have to convey a value prop right away. Right away, you have to, within your first sentence or 2, they need to know that, A, you solved the problem, and why you're better or different than everybody else. Because chances are they've seen 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 other websites that have the exact same thing. If you get a dial-in or a transfer, it's assumed consent. If you're talking to somebody immediately, there's a high level of interest. You need to close that, and you want to use language that's more assumptive immediately. And if it's policy owner marketing, which I love, and a whole nother session on your existing client base, is talk about savings immediately. If they just want additional coverage, that's great, but you position yourself as credible and somebody who's not trying to take money from them. In fact, you're giving back by talking about savings. Okay? All right, most important pre-call information. Are you already in or are you entering the club? What that means is, do you already have life insurance, or is this the first time you're buying it? Are you trying to add to what you have, or is this the first time you realize you need coverage? That is the divining question, everybody. That changes your whole scope of how you interact with them. Make that one of your first questions and make it conversational. So I'm curious, George, is this the first time you're trying to get life insurance and protect your family, or are you trying to save some money by using us or to add to what you already have? Determine what that is and change everything based on that. Here are the telesales 7 habits. These are my proprietary components. Habit 1 we're going to hone in on today, and the next 6 are open for discussion. And we will talk about those at another time. So the first one is rapport creation. You'll notice that every one of these has an ION, an action at the end of them, because you are controlling it, you are taking action. First one, creating or building rapport. Second one is communicating your value proposition. How are you different? What's in it for me? Why should they buy from you? Research interaction, that's a fancy way of saying it's your gathering of the data, not just the face amount, why they need the coverage, but it's going into all the medical questions. Most people throw that section away. It's imperative that you create control, authority, and expertise with that, because that's how you get the diagnosis, and that's also how you showcase your expertise. Before you present the rates, which is the next one, they should be saying, wow, you really know your stuff. The rate presentation is by far the most fun, the most dynamic. It's what we all love doing, is presenting the price and getting the customer to say yes. I teach a methodology, and there's 7 different things that you do when you give the rates, only because you've mastered the first 3, that you know your client so well that you know which one to pull out when you're talking to each individual. The rate presentation is entirely customized based on the first 3 habits. Objection, or 5. Objection mitigation. People always say, Todd, can you help me overcome objections? No, I can't. I don't believe in objections. I believe in creating an environment that mitigates objections. So the customer says, that sounds great. What do we need to do? Let's move forward. Thank you. This is awesome. Where do I sign? Who do I write the check to? Right? So I don't believe in objections, so I teach a technique that talks about mitigating objections. The 6th one is, after they say, yeah, that sounds great, you secure it, and you make sure that they're on board with you 100%. The 7th one is optimization. So they're long-term clients, LTV, the lifetime value, and you start getting referrals and picking up doubles, more sales right then and there. Today we're going to focus in on habit 1. Overarching all of habit 1 is pace, and I don't just mean speed. I mean these 4 components. Overarches everything in your 7 habits, and that is presence. Presence. There's a whole book. There's a book, brand new one out. You can go read it. I'll save you the $30. It comes down to, you'll know it when you see it, and it's conveying strength in communication and creating an environment in which people feel welcome and supported in. Whatever. That just simply means you are commanding. You're authoritative, and they trust you. So you need to create that in all your endeavors, especially on the phone. Authenticity. I've changed the A around over time. It used to always be authority, and now it's authenticity. Why? It's because every shop that I've seen, I'm always surprised just by the look of the person who's the top producer, or in the top 5 or 10. It's like, really? That guy? Her? Because they don't look like what I expect. You know, their jeans are dragging. They look kind of sloppy, or they look, I don't know, they just don't look like what I expect. It's because then I hear them on the phone, and I go, oh, wow, I get it. It's because they're authentic. They are who they are, but they convey it with presence and control and expertise. But there's something about the way they manifest who they are that makes the client say, wow, that really resonates with me. I get this guy. So that's what I did. I don't want you guys to be Todd Ewing. I want you to be Bill or Joe or Dave or Sarah. Be yourself, but be it at the truest level. So define who you are and be that every time. As you can tell, I talk quickly. I'm intense. That's my style. I never change that. That worked for me every time. I don't expect that needs to be your approach. But be authentic and master that. Control. You have to have control. These calls, everybody, are only 12 to 20 minutes, depending on the complexity of the product offering. But you are in control. Your doctor has 15 minutes. You know that, right? They're on the pace. They're on the clock all the time. If they start wandering off and talking about the Super Bowl too long, it would be a little weird. I mean, I get it for maybe the first couple minutes, but after that, they're back in control. And if you veer off, they'll get you back in track. You need to do the same thing. It shows your expertise, which is what it comes down to. They don't want to be the expert with life insurance. They want you, particularly if they're buying it over the phone. They need you to convey that expertise so they can go, whew, I don't have to worry about this anymore. I got the right guy, the right gal. All right, here we go. Habit 1. These are high level. These are the first 7 or 8 key points on building rapport. It's in the affirmation. It's immediate engagement, the secret handshake. You've got to find a quick question or a unique data point that's going to work for you. I just looked at the clock. I'm going to go even faster. Tonal modeling. Tonal modeling means find the style or language of theirs and model after it, particularly in the volume, how you speak to them. If they're quiet, bring it down. Utilize a whisper, an inflection, and power pause at least once during your habit 1, at least one time to create impact or to suggest an influence in one direction or another. The whisper or the pause are incredibly powerful. We talked about new due to insurance or existing. It changes, so you change your language. You start using words, if they're an existing customers, like as you know, as you probably recall, as you may remember when you did the exam or when you signed the paperwork. If they're new, you slow down. You do more verbal check-ins. You do more tie-downs. You make sure that they're on board with you. You use no jargon of any kind. Or if you use jargon, you explain it 3 times so that they say, oh, that makes sense, thank you. You get thank yous from them. I like to use acronyms. They're easy to remember. So PLUS for protection code. This is a trick for selling over the phone. You need to know the why. Why? What came up for you? What made you realize you need life insurance? So something happened. Get the why. It's the most important question you're ever going to ask. Right? But you personalize it. So here's the plus. You personalize it. Oh, so it's for Cheryl. Oh, it's to protect your family. Oh, it's for your father-in-law. Oh, it's for your business. And you repeat it back and you personalize it to them. And then you remind them of the loss. So you want to make sure that something happens, your business will still go on. So if you don't come home tonight, your family isn't destitute. So when you come home tonight, you don't come home, your kids can still go to college. You remind them and you initiate the loss. You bury them. Then you unveil opportunities. So what we can do is we can look at and you present general opportunities for the right solution. And you only do 2 of those. You unveil 2 options and you kind of lead them. And then you simplify. You tell them, you know what, but we can look at lots of different ones because we have the right solutions for you. So it'll be up to you how you want to move forward. I always bring it back to them. Let them think that they're going to be making the decision as opposed to me. So I patented that line. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But I know they're going to buy. You want to leverage their pain or their gain. They're either running from something or running to. They're either feeling like they got to get a policy or they need to get a policy. Determine which one that is. Do they gotta or do they need to? Figure that out. Humanize the policy. I learned this one. This is kind of what prompted me to get into the consulting thing for the last 5 years. Is I heard a guy on the phone at a different agency, and he was a stud, making $300,000 selling over the phone. He had his own assistant. It was crazy. And what he did, within the first minute, I'd never heard. So I learned something new every day. He said, okay, so when you get hit by a bus, who's the insurance company writing the check to? Who's the carrier going to pay the check to? And I was like, what? Oh, my God. I mean, he was talking about their own mortality. Most of us always say, God forbid something happens to you. He was literally burying the guy and then personalized it, and the guy said, oh, my wife, Cheryl. And he said, oh, okay, is that Cheryl with an S or Cheryl with a C? It's as if he was writing the beneficiary check right then and there, spelling her name. And he even said, does Cheryl use a middle initial? It was crazy. That guy sold everybody because of that one moment. Love Actually, not just a movie, right? Here's a trick on the kids. People buy because they love somebody. They're good citizens. Let's face it, that's why they're doing it. So we want to compliment them on that. But here's what we do over the phone. We make it more real. We make it more real, and the way you make it more real is in the questions you ask. So obviously you want to protect your kids. What grade level are they in? And why do I say that as opposed to what age are they? Because it makes them think, and a lot of guys, believe it or not, don't even know, or they have to go, boy, she's in 5th grade, or he just went into 3rd. But it makes them think about school. And by thinking about school, then I can easily transition into college. So do you want to cover them through college or just through high school? Do you see the trick there? It's assumptive, but now I get to determine how long I'm going to lock this guy in if I'm selling them a term product. Am I getting them to 12th grade, or am I getting them another 5 years through a university? And there's the opportunity to talk about family coverage and to stretch into a double, which simply means getting the husband and wife, getting the business partner, getting the father, getting somebody else. You got to ASK to GET. One time I had 13 sales on one call because I asked the police captain that I was talking to on the phone, is there anybody else in your precinct or whatever that I can help? And he said, yeah, they're all right here. I'll just pass the phone around. So it wasn't a double. It was like for 3 grand slams, to use a baseball analogy. Value-wise, the importance of the call, of what you're doing. So tell them, like Bill told you earlier, I love it. He stole one of my lines, right? Get a pen. Do you have a pen handy? Are you on your laptop? Can you take notes? You want them engaged with you. It's critical that they're doing that so they're not walking around. They need to be participating. The Colombo needs analysis, you've all been trained a million times by thousands of people how to do a needs analysis. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to share with you Clue, which is a different strategy over the phone. It's what you compliment them on the choice. You don't fight them on the choice. They say they want 300,000. You know they need $1 million. Screw it. 300,000. Oh, that's great. Okay, Joe, that sounds awesome. I'm glad you're protecting your family with the 300,000. You know what? The price break occurs at 250. So if you even wanted to lower it, nobody does this. Nobody does this, and that's why I think it's brilliant. If you even wanted to lower it to 250, we can save you some more money. Does that guy trust me now? Absolutely. Who does that? Nobody. I want 100% of a sale as opposed to 0% of a bigger one. They will upsell themselves. I then talk about lowering. Underselling is the magic of phone sales. Uncertainty is the next one in the Clue. Uncertainty is, well, you know, you never know. 250 or 300, your life could change. You know, maybe you don't come home tomorrow. You never really know. So again, I'm reminding them of their own doubt and mortality. And I said, you know what, no matter what you choose, we're going to make it really simple. And you actually can change it even after you get your policy. Do you see how I already gave them a policy? It's totally assumptive. Even after you get your policy, you can change it. Or as soon as the policy's issued and they're ready to send it to you, just call me and say, hey, Todd, I want to change it to 300 or I want to lower it to 250. I can do that for you easy. Don't get hung up on having to do a different exam or whatever. You'll figure that out. Negging, guys, creates coveting. Negging is another way to say underselling, negative selling. Negging means, like, you know what, you don't really need that. Guess what? They're going to say, I want it. You know what? You don't really need that BMW. This Audi is just as good for you. They're going to go, no, I want the 5 Series. No, I want that 7 Series. No, I like the Beamer. You don't really need this. Now, if they say they want it, they sold themselves. You did not. They bought. You did not sell them. It is an entirely different mindset. Speaking of mindset, it is the buying psychology, everybody. The buying psychology that you create and emanate, you cultivate and have it resonate with them in the first 2 to 3 minutes of the call. You come across as busy, an attorney, a doctor. I want them to value your time. You don't ask them, you don't tell, you ask questions. When did you want to get that? Why? What came up for you? What would happen if you don't come home tonight? Everything that you do, you're asking a question. Even if you're giving information, you're framing it in the form of a question to A, get them engaged, and to give information without feeling like you're talking at them. It's conversational value proposition. Assume consent. Use your case studies. People buy the most popular. That's why Honda, #1. All the commercials you hear, Ford F-150, the #1 thing in the world, Honda Accord, Honda Civic, the #1 movie in America, the #1 sitcom. People love to gravitate what is popular. Use that to your advantage. Use your case studies. You know what my last caller just did? My last clients, the people in Montana, the people who are buying $500,000, they all buy this. People want to buy what's safe. Urgency. Every agent tells me they use this, but I don't think if they were Pinocchio, their nose would be going crazy. Save age, backdate, nobody uses it like they should. It's all available to create urgency. You have to create urgency on the phone because you're not walking out with a check. So the only way to get that commitment is you got to get them to say, I need to get that now. I need to do that right now. I can teach anybody, and I mean anybody, a janitor, a gardener, anybody, a car salesman, how to sell effectively over the phone, to get a yes, to get an app out. The key is getting the exam done if it's fully underwritten. If it's non-med, it's getting the check and getting the digital signature. The end of the day, the bottom line is getting a policy paid. I don't care if you just get an app out. That's great. It's got to go paid. So creating urgency is important. First impressions last, everybody. That's just reality. People fall in love with first looks, with the first talk, the first handshake, whatever it is. Play back your first 3 minutes if you don't make a sale. I want you to record your calls. From now on, your iPhone or your Android is a recorder. Go in there, record your calls over the phone for the first 3 minutes, and determine, did you establish authority, control, garner trust? Did you evoke all those emotional resonance? I have a scorecard that I can help you with as well, but there are the 7 to 10 different points that you have to get across in the first 3 minutes, and if you do that well, you're going to make the sale. If you don't, it's not going to work. I'm going to go really quickly here. Here are the other habits. Value proposition is habit 2. It differentiates. The goal is to eliminate shopping. Habit 3 is the evaluation. It makes you the master. It codifies your expertise. Habit 4, my most favorite thing of all time, it is presenting the rates. It's customized, proven techniques. Sales are one here. This is the stuff where it's like legends are made where you go, wow, only I could have gotten the guy, but it's because you laid the foundation in habit 1, and you continued on in 2 and 3, but presenting the rates, there's a genius to this. One of my favorite things to ever teach. Handling objections, I already told you I don't believe in them. I don't like you to chase. I believe that people should be thanking you. Sales affirmation, it generates tie downs. It produces sticky next steps. It has to go through. Even if it's non-med, you have to get it completed. And then the last one is advocacy, right? It's optimization. They have to thank you. I want you to measure your success, calibrate your success by money and thank you. If they're not thanking you, you weren't an expert. You thank your doctor, you thank your CPA when you walk out. They need to thank you, and they should be giving you referrals. Don't use the word referral. It's not a good word. They should be giving you other clients. They should be giving you their friends, right? You want long-term value. Everybody, it's a 12 to 20 minutes for the close. 12 to 20 minutes, total. Total. If it's a double, husband and wife, maybe a little longer. If it's a complex sale, a little longer. But UL sales, 30 minutes? Not kidding. It's not that complicated anymore. One day, I had a guy, true story, $40,000 and $80,000 under my agency over the phone. $120,000 in 2 sales. That month, he produced $160,000 in premium for a tele-sales center. I didn't have a comp plan built for that. He did really well. Good thing he stayed with me a long time. Okay, you want to scorecard each one of your habits. You want to play it back. You want to review your failures. A lot of people love, oh, Todd, I'm really good. I do this. That's great. We all do things really well. What are the areas that you need to improve? And that's where you focus on, right? Where are your failure metrics and your demographics? Where are your holes? What makes a great salesperson for being over the phone? It's discernment. That's it. Because you're able to judge who do I have on the other line without seeing him, without body language, without anything. So you don't prejudge on vernacular. We'd never sell a farmer. We'd never sell somebody in the South because we're making assumptions that are wrong. right? Lead segmentation, that's the master of the internet, is we know who these customers are somewhat in advance, which is brilliant. It's not like a cold lead. They already told us. And if you can create a list, they already told you. They already have a policy. They're looking to save money. They're married. They have children. They don't smoke. They want $500,000. Their date of birth is tomorrow. Or their birthday is tomorrow. You have all this great stuff, and you can segment your leads. Oh, I want to target this guy with 5 drip campaigns. Oh, I only want to touch this guy once. Oh, I want to call him immediately. Oh, I'll call that guy tomorrow. Oh, I want to. All these things you know because of your lead segmentation, and it comes down to ROT, return on time. It comes down to your return on time. Where do you spend your money? And at the end of the day, the bottom line is return on marketing. I spent this much on marketing, and I got this much in return. And if you're getting good stuff with Levinson and Associates about your marketing, how do you optimize that? I mean, that is tremendous. Utilize and tap into that. Okay? Last couple things. I think of sports all the time because it's honing your craft. It's getting better. And here's just a couple quick things to do. Constantly work on your voice. Your voice is your most powerful tool. You don't have anything else. You don't have your good looks in face-to-face. You don't have your charm. So use your voice to your advantage. Specialize with socio and geodynamics. We all work with certain types better than others. Focus in on those. Hey, I work really well with New Yorkers. I work really well with women. I work really well with single moms. Find out that area and cultivate that. Work well with everybody, but you're going to have a specialization. The power of the pause. Master that one. And same thing with the whisper. When you do the medical exam, hey, here's an idea. Use these tools to your advantage. Cultivate them without sounding cheesy. 100% presence. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's how your energy comes out. So be aware of your body posture on the phone when you're talking to somebody. You need to be, your screen needs to be the client. Your energy needs to be palpable. Eliminate quote from your vocabulary. Don't be a quote service. You're not going to out-quote, select quote. Don't try to be that. Be youragency.com. Be a hybrid. Be like personalized, independent, and yet with all the technology. Over-deliver at delivery. Make it special. Make that lasting impression incredible. Habit 1 should be awesome, and then at the very end, when you're delivering the policy, make it meaningful. That's where you're going to cultivate this relationship even better. Underselling, again, in a whole chapter of a book devoted to underselling. Try it. Try it. It works. It will make you look less greedy. Get sticky. Get sticky, meaning 1.3 minimum, but go for 1.5 policies for every client, meaning a double, husband and wife, business partner, somebody else, or another product offering. And then lastly, never, ever, ever give these things, give the rates without the following. Asking what's the most important, look for backdating, explain the underwriting, give the background of the carriers. Don't make it just a generic product. Don't make it a commodity. Make them take notes, because you never want them to say, hey, can you send that to me in writing? I need to see that. Make them take notes. Don't give more than 2 choices. Give monthly and annual discount, and then tell them what to do. This is your dance, everybody. You have to master the first 3 habits, so when you get here, you know the speed, you know the style, how to move, because you know your client so well. You don't dance with the same way to the same song and to a different person. So know your first 3 habits, so when you get here, you're smooth, and it's all beautifully choreographed. Here's where you can increase your margins, is knowing when to go non-med and when to do fully underwritten. How do you handle the money? Make sure you get the money. Don't chase money at the end. Make everything fast. We live in a TIG society. And then lastly, you got to tap into a drip campaign. Use the CRM tools that are available to you. Use the constant touches. People don't want to talk on the phone as much anymore, so you got to have the right mechanisms. And your case management, I can't stress enough, is the glue that holds it all together. So building your D2C empire, building your digital empire, leverage all the Levinson and Associate tools. I want you to master the 7 habits of sales success and develop a personalized, customized D2C platform that is going to complement and augment your business model to completely transform and catapult your business to new heights this year. So again, thank you to Bill and Joe. Thanks to Levinson Associates. Again, I'm Todd Ewing. I've been pleased to be with you today and look forward to speaking with you another time.
Yeah, great stuff, Todd. Thank you so much. Just jot down these dates. This was just the beginning, folks, from Todd. So we have a three-part series. We are one down, so we have two left. March 9th, 2 p.m. Eastern, and April 6th, 2 p.m. Eastern as well. And by the time that you're done with this whole three-part series, you will be a over-the-phone selling professional. I hope everyone enjoyed this as much as I did. I picked up a few new tidbits, man. That was awesome stuff. I'm writing down. I'm sweating over here, loving every minute. That was awesome. So I'll just end with this. Our Levinson Agent Expo is coming up March 31st. So that's next month, March 31st in South Florida, free to all active agents. You can even qualify for round-trip airfare and a weekend stay at our beachfront location. We have all of our top carriers from around the country, top underwriters, VPs, keynote speaker from Tony Robbins. So got some real cool stuff. You don't want to miss that day. And then we'll just end with this. Everything, in my opinion, and I know Todd and Joe agree with me as well, but you have to stay in that right positive mindset every day. The person on the other side of the call can sense that energy, and you always have to come across in a positive way. So whatever you have to do, I know Tony Robbins says, you know, you either go look in the mirror or go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and you pinch your ear, or you look at yourself and say some incantations. Get in the right mindset, go back in your office, pick up the phone, and make those sales and calls. So whatever it takes, it could be church, temple-related, Tony Robbins, audio CDs, books, I don't care. All I care about is you need to be in the right mindset day in and day out. We'll end with this from Richard Branson. So everything is about opportunity. That's exactly what we're talking about today with Todd Ewing. So you got to go out there and make the next step, make it happen. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it at a later point. So if it sounds good, jump in, figure it out later, make it happen. With that said, have a great rest of the week, a good weekend, and good selling. Take care.